Hey, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Give me either a thumbs up or you can type into the chat if you can hear me. Oh, perfect. Hi, Kevin and Pam. Hi. Hi, everybody. Oh, so welcome to another Get Cute While Quarantine with Felicia Leatherwood. And I need a haircut. So I think I'm going to grow my hair. So I'm doing different things as it's growing out. So I don't know what today is going to be. It started off, we are going to talk about alopecia and hair loss. And I do want you all, whoever would like to come in at some point and ask questions about their hair or their hair journey, I can pop you in. You can ask a question. I can see your hair. I think I figured it out. But anybody who raises their hand and wants to come in at some point when I open it up, definitely I would love to hear your questions. Today is like completely emotional, just a lot. I mean, I'm not an emotional person. I don't cry, but yesterday I cried. I mean, when I got that news about Chadwick, I was like, kind of devastating to me. And so, yeah, so I really just wanted to take a moment of silence out for him and his family right now, because there's a lot going on. And just to, raise him up and see him with God and our ancestors and being in a amazing place after leaving here. I just visualize him being in an amazing place and having an incredible journey here on earth and after leaving here. So just want to take a moment of silence out for Chadwick. Thank the Father, the Mother, Father, the God, the Creator for all things, and just praying for the strength for his family, his friends, the children that looked up to him, and fans, everybody, everywhere during this time. So, whew, thank y'all for that. Thank you for just being with me in that for a second. Today, we are talking about alopecia and hair loss. And I really wanted to get into what I'm looking at as ancestral genetic alopecia. I've been doing a lot of private consulting here on Zoom. And I've been talking to some of the women, and just over time, not even just on the Zoom, but in all the travels when I go around the world and talk to women, and I see hair loss is really high in the Black community. African American, African, it's a really, really high number of bald, pattern baldness. And they say male pattern baldness, but just literally pattern baldness. There's a couple of different types of alopecia within our community that run permanent, and that is aorta alopecia, which is genetic. And when I was doing the study on it, there's all this information, but I feel like as it relates to people of color, it's a little different because the information started to repeat itself a lot. And then there is traction alopecia, which a lot of us know about, which is caused by braids, weaves, flat ironing, pulling of the hair, pressing. And it just depends. You might have a hairstylist that pressed your hair for years. You never had that problem. That's great. But there's a lot of hairstylists that don't know, and they put tension on the hair, and they feel like when they put the tension on, that's going to get it straight, or that's gonna get all the hair in the braids. When I go to Africa, I notice that the braids are right on the edge, so there's no baby hair left out. Every piece of hair that could be out is put into the braid. So that's traction alopecia, and that pulls out from inside of the follicle. But I feel like there's an ancestral alopecia happening. And what I mean by that is I started to study ancestral stress. And there's all these studies on ancestral stress, reports on it. They don't really target, or I shouldn't say target, they don't really make a point of it to be in the Black community, but I'm still doing more research about that. But it came to me because a lot of the women that I've talked to that have alopecia, they'll either say they never had braids, they never had a weave, they didn't have a relaxer. Like, some of these women have been natural most of their lives, and they're still having it. And then I ask them about their grandmother or their mother, and sometimes it'll skip a generation. A sister might have a head full of hair, and then your hair might be thinner, and then next thing you know, your hair is thicker, and then her hair is thinner. So we're going to talk about that and get into what that is. Feel free to type in the chat on the side, you guys. Comment. I'm always looking for your comments. I like when you interact with me. So I see you, Sola. You says, can you please talk about ancestral genetic hair loss related to I never get this word right, the hair pulling, compulsive hair pulling amongst Black women? Yes. Okay, this is great question. So the stress. So what she's talking about, and I don't know if you guys could even see the question, I get this name kind of wrong. Trichotillomania. 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 I think I got it. Okay, and so what it is compulsive hair pulling. If you notice when you're studying, if you're studying for a test or something at work, or you're stressed out, or you're on the phone, start to notice if you're pulling on your edges, if you're pulling the back of your hair a lot, if you're always running your hands through your hair and pulling it and pulling hair out. If you see a lot of hairs around the house and you know to catch yourself pulling on your hair, know that you've been doing it more so probably when you're stressed or thinking about something. So that I had a young lady on some years ago, and she felt great. She was like, I live a great life. I have no worries, but she would pull her hair out. And what she came to realize, because she didn't even pay attention, is that the hair getting pulled out was about her thinking of something. She was always trying to prepare for if something went wrong. So she would start to pull her hair out in the process of that. So that is something to definitely be mindful of and to take notice of it. Some people actually pull their hair out in their sleep. There's not a lot you could do about that. But I have had women tell me that they would wear little mittens at night so that it would keep them, they couldn't touch their hair. It was something about the pulling of it. They needed to feel the pulling or going through their fingers. And so when they couldn't do it, it's kind of calmed them down from doing that. And so that's a whole nother situation. And that, I feel, is more about how do you get your stress levels to keep you from doing this habit. Now, alopecia, period, as far as I'm concerned, it's all about stress. And the genetic, what I'm talking about, the ancestral part of it, is if you look back at our lineage, I mean, seriously, generations, there's been so much stress. I mean, from the time we were brought over here into slavery, into coming out of slavery, and into the Harlem Renaissance, into the Black Panther movement, like all this up until now, every day now, stress. So I am really on a mission to find out if a lot of this is encoded in the DNA cell, the stress coming. And when I was researching about ancestral stress, they did studies where they were saying that when the mother was stressed out, it did encode into the fetus. It did go into the I guess, the DNA code of the child. And so if you think about the years upon years of what we've endured to now, no wonder that there is alopecia running at a high number, and it's genetic at a high number in our community. And so I just really am going to do more research about it, because it's something I'm first of all, I always tell you guys I'm a hair nerd. And so it's really a mission of mine to help women understand what's going on their scalp, especially if they're losing hair. And so I'm going to keep on with my mission. If you all find out any good information as it relates to ancestral stress or ancestral genetic stress, please send me the information. You can send it to Ask Felicia Moore, M-O-R-E, Moore, at gmail.com. It's Ask Felicia Moore at gmail.com, because I really want to get into knowing what it is and what could be done. Now, today, what I can tell you as it relates to hair loss. So let's talk about hair loss. Let's talk about, like, once we've identified that you actually can grow hair and stimulate the follicle, what could bring it back? And let's talk a little bit about what actually makes the hair fall out, because a lot of us don't honestly realize that some of the products we use don't work for us. If you have a lot of itchy scalp, if you find like your scalp is itching and you're constantly scratching it, that's going to pull your hair out. That's going to make your hair shed. The way you take out double strand twists by pulling at the root, that breaks the hair. The way that you use your Felicia Leatherwood detangler brush can take your hair out. So you have to know, like, how to use your tools and how to use your products. When it comes to products, if you're not quite sure which product is the right one for you, and this is me just kind of repeating a few things that you know already, some of you, I often say divide the hair into 4 sections and put one product here, another one here, another one here, and another one back here. Depending on how much of a product junkie you are, you may not have 4 products, maybe you have 2, but you definitely want to test them to see if they're right for you. So that being said, if you're washing your hair, if you're shampooing your hair, and you say, you know what, I don't know if this conditioner, because we all know shampoo is going to strip hair out. We know that. We know that. That's what shampoo is supposed to do. It's supposed to strip the hair out. Not strip the hair out, but strip the stuff off the hair out. It's supposed to strip everything, the toxins, the oils off the hair. But then they have moisturizing shampoos. So they balance out a little bit. They give you a little softness while they're actually getting rid of the toxins and the oils and everything off the hair and the scalp. If you find out that your shampoo is making your hair super duper dry, like you're like, oh my God, I don't know if this is okay, but my hair gets clean, take a little conditioner and put it in your shampoo. So if you put the shampoo in your hand, add a little conditioner in there to soften it up and then use it. Some of you have shampoos where you're like, I bought it and it's terrible. It dries my hair out. What could I do? I already paid for it. Add a little conditioner in and see if that doesn't help you be able to use it, and go ahead and, like, instead of throwing your money away, go ahead and try to use it just with a little conditioner in it. The other thing is that when it relates to your conditioners, you can test those out by, like I said, placing them in different areas of your hair and starting to feel the hair. And what are you looking for when you're feeling the hair? You're looking for your hair to be soft, manageable, have slip. You want it to have slip. You're also looking to see if the conditioner is actually penetrating the cuticle, because some conditioners will just sit on top, and then when you go to wash it off, nothing happened. The hair feels exactly the same way, dry, as it did before. So you want to make sure that even if it does feel really good on your hair while you're testing it, and write down your results, because you'll forget. If you write 1, so you can make your left side 1. You can even put left 1, left frontal, and then write the conditioner you're using or the products you're using. And then that way you can go back and grade it. so that if you ever find that one that is the holy grail for you and you run out and you decide to venture off into another product, you won't forget what was good. You will always have that list and you'll always remember what worked. I mean, face it, we're all product junkies. You'll get a call from a friend saying, oh my God, this product is great. Or Tracy Ellis Ross will come out with something amazing, or Taraji P. Henson, or Gabrielle Union, you know, and then we'll try it. So just know what works. Just write down what agrees with your hair and what works, so you can always go back to it while you venture off into things. As it relates to the way you use the brush, I have gotten a few emails where women will say, oh my God, you know, I bought your brush. I love it, but it's ripping my hair out. And I'm like, why is it ripping your hair out? That never is meant to happen. And so then I ask them how they're using the brush. And what they tell me is that they'll start from the top and pull. Don't do that. Don't start from the top with this. Don't start from the middle with this. Always start from the bottom and work your way back towards the scalp. Why? Because textured hair will coil and kink inside of each strand of itself. And if you start from the top, what are you doing? You're going to create a webbing and you're going to rip all of your hair out. Also, it's better to use a tool on your hair, brush or comb or fingers, when your hair is wet. When you have water or your LOC or your conditioner, if it's your shampoo days and you're working on your hair, that is the best time to detangle your hair. It's the best time. That's when you'll lose less hair. If you're losing more hair when you're shampooing and conditioning, we need to talk. Something's going on and you may need a protein treatment. Somebody had their hand raised. I thought I saw a hand go up. But so I want you guys to just really create a great regimen. That's the thing. Let's see, there is a question. It seems like your hair is always, Bria, seems like your hair is always shedding. What is the best product to use for low porosity hair to prevent hair loss? This is a great question. Okay, so let's talk about it. One of the things that you should use, if your hair is shedding and you're sure it's low porosity, because you might just need a protein treatment. Bria, have you tried a protein treatment? And you could type in the chat. And anybody who wants to come in and have me see them and ask questions, I think there's a way you could raise your hand or you can post that you want to come on. So, okay, hands raised. Here we go. This is how you do it. I figured it out. Okay, so hey, Kathleen, hi. I will bring you in 1 second then. Give me 1 second. So Bria, you may need a protein treatment, or you might need to change your products. I don't know what you're using, but maybe the products aren't satisfying your hair. This one here is one of the best ones I really like. Well, I'm gonna show you two, but this one is the Alopecia. I talked about this. Can you guys see it? I talked about this last week, and I really like their products. And this is the mask, but she also makes a black shampoo, moisturizing shampoo, black soap. And I really like that black soap shampoo. It keeps the hair really soft. I don't know if you guys have ever used black soap shampoo before, but it really does keep your hair soft. And so this, I feel, would make your hair have a better chance at getting your porosity up. And I also know that it's going to make your hair softer. Now, if your hair is shedding and you feel like it's thinning, this product right here is pretty good for that. This is the Wow shampoo and conditioner. And this has the DHT blocker, which is going to help prevent you from having further shedding or hair loss. So this right here was what I use when it comes to like women going through, and I tell women, if you're having hair loss, shedding, different things like that, a lot of times women will have it from pregnancy, having a baby. And so I like that product for that. But I have Kathleen waiting to talk. So, Kathleen, do you want to come on for me to see you? Can you hear me? I think you're unmuted. You might have yours might be muted on your side, but I unmuted you. There you are.
Hi, Felicia.
Hi. You want to come on so I can see you?
Sure.
I think I'm proud of myself because I finally figured this out. Okay. Can you? Is it asking you to allow your camera?
Oh, let's see. Start video. Okay.
Is it letting you?
Well,
Yes and no. Let's try it this way. I'm gonna make you a host. I can always take you out, and then you'll be able to start your video.
Bruce.
So
She's trying to get me in.
it should see if it allows you to start your video now.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can. It's perfect.
Okay. Okay. I've had alopecia for like maybe 2 years now.
Okay.
And I went to the dermatologist and she gave me some medication. And it's just right up in this spot right here.
On the top. Mm-hmm.
On the top. But now it's bad. I have a big spot right here now. And I'm not sure does it supposed to spread like that?
That's the thing with alopecia. It's unpredictable. And that's why I was like, I want to start to do more studies about this.
Okay.
Because, and I don't know how comfortable you are on camera right now. If I ask you a few personal things, like what has your career been and what is your diet like?
Oh, that's okay.
5 years.
It's okay. I've been retired for like 9 years.
Okay.
Now.
And what did you do before that?
I worked for the state for like 36 years.
Okay.
And it was a little stressful then.
Yeah. And have you had to take care of anyone in your family?
No, I haven't.
That's good.
No.
So you don't have any family member stress? You haven't had anyone pass away or anything?
Yes, I have. I've had several family members to pass away.
Okay. And then what are you eating? Like, what's your go-to snack, I should say?
I'm a vegetarian and I eat a lot of fruits, vegetables, some chips.
More sugar or more salt?
More salt.
Okay.
Than sugar.
So then would your go-to snack be maybe chips or?
Chips. Yeah.
I love chips. I really love guacamole and chips, actually. Okay. And then do you have the opportunity, are you able to work out?
Yes, I do. I walk every day.
That's excellent.
Uh-huh.
Do you do any type of yoga or anything for stress relief, breathing?
No, I don't.
Do you watch CNN?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yeah. And plus I take a lot of, not a lot, but I take several medications. I'm on high blood pressure medicine. And I heard your medicine could have a lot to do with that.
It does. Definitely. So as a hairstylist, when people come to me and we do consultations, I have to ask these questions. And sometimes the questions seem like, why is she asking me this? But it all leads to something. It all leads to understanding what your life has been. Even if it hasn't been like this in the last 9 years, it may have been like that for 20 years.
Okay.
So it may take a minute for your body to even say, okay, we're not doing that anymore, and it takes us a minute. When I take a vacation, I can't even relax for the first week, and I can't stay longer than that because I have to get back to work. Exactly. So, we put a lot on ourselves and we don't really realize it, especially as people of color. We're so used to taking it on.
Right.
We don't think about it, but the medication is going to play a huge part. And if you want to, And not for you to feel fearful or scared, but you can look at what the medications cause. I know sometimes that can be a little jarring when you start looking into it, because you might identify, it might on the list may be that you would have alopecia or some form of balding or hair loss. And then you'll be able to say, oh, and if you're taking 3 or 4 medications that have that, guess what? That's going to be probably the culprit.
Okay.
You know, in terms of trying to bring the hair back, and I know like you went to the dermatologist, which is great, and she prescribed something. I don't know if it's natural or not, or if you want something more natural. The thing about hair loss is if someone tells you, okay, try this, this will bring your hair back, chances are we'll use it for a month, maybe, and then kind of forget.
Okay.
And we don't always do it. We'll fall asleep, we'll forget, you know. So if you are to start something, I suggest you at least do it for 6 months and do it exactly the way the directions say. Every day, just stay on it, because that's the way you'll really truly know.
Okay.
And what else you gonna do in that period of time? Just do nothing and complain you have the bald spot. So at least do something, and then it'll kind of make you feel like that you're working towards fixing it.
Right.
That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
So,
it does.
yeah, so I would say definitely look into some of the medications as it relates to that.
Okay.
And then also, have you looked into the rice water rinse, or this one's gonna sound a little strange, but they have this onion juice. So we got to go back to some of our original roots when we do these recipes, you know, because you know great grandma and grandma used to mix up stuff and it worked. You don't know what they went outside or they went to the garage and or the kitchen and they came back with something. You took it, it was nasty, and it worked.
Right.
So if you Google the onion hair rinse,
okay,
it's going to tell you how to take, I think it's the white onion, and boil it. And the water that comes, it creates like an onion juice. And you can put lavender oil inside of that.
Okay.
Just to mask the smell. So you don't go around smelling like onions. And basically put that on your hair and you let it sit, I think about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then you shampoo it. So I would suggest if you're going to do it, you do it before you shampoo your hair.
Oh, okay.
You get the smell out. Or before you deep condition after you shampoo. So either way, yeah. But try it, and it's natural, you know, so it's not like you're using something you don't really know what's in the ingredients. And you know, and then just see, and only try it in one area first, because I know you say you have 2 areas, so try one area first and see where it goes. I would like to start you there first before giving you some of these other products I have on the table here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, and let me know. Definitely write to me and let me know how it goes. Now, if you feel like it's itchy or tingly or something doesn't feel right, hit me right away, and then we'll talk about something else you can try.
Okay, sounds good. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen. I'm going to, okay, so I think you have to hang up, and then I change it.
So what do I do? Stop video?
Yep.
Okay.
And then I put you back.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right, y'all. So I have some questions I see right here. Oh, the WOW products, Pam, you wanted to see those again? No problem. And somebody's asking my thoughts about Tresemme products. Tresemme is like, Gloria, it's it was one of those things like over the counter, you run into the store, you needed your hair to be soft, you grab it. Plus it's really good in travel size. But if I were to just have it in my home, I wouldn't just go buy Tresemme like that. It would be my emergency, like my hair is dry and I need to condition it. And then Antoinette, you want to know a recommendation on any gluten-free products. I think Sienna Naturals is what you want. And anybody that's on here, please feel free, because I don't have my lovely assistant today, to type in the .coms to some of these that I recommend. Sienna Naturals is I think I have to spell it out, SIENNA Naturals, Sienna Naturals, and they are gluten-free and vegan friendly hair product line. And I love their products because the hair is super soft. Oh, the hair is super soft after I've used it. And so I really like that. Here, Sienna Naturals. It's with an S. Did I say C? I meant S. Yeah, Gloria, you got it. And then thank you, Pam, for putting Alodia up. It's such good products. Alodia, you got it. Okay, so the WOW products, Pam, you wanted to see again. And I will show you. And I'm running 2 streams. I'm on Instagram as well. So, but I just figured with Instagram, if you guys want to listen in, this is what I do every Saturday. It's called Get Cute While Quarantined with Felicia Leatherwood. And today we are talking about alopecia and hair loss. So anybody tuning in, I'm going to show you the WOW products again. And this is the shampoo. Now this one is the activated charcoal and keratin shampoo. And then this is the conditioner. And WOW is really big on trying to combat hair loss and hair thinning. The other product that I like, so anybody wearing braids, and sometimes if you ever feel like the braids are pulling your hair out, take those braids out. Don't sit up and have like a 2-day headache. Don't even have a headache for one night if you got a hairstyle that is jacking you up in the name of I paid for this, so I'm going to suffer. Don't do that. Do not do that. You will suffer and you'll suffer later worse than suffering for the money you lost, because later you'll just be bald headed. And to me, that's way deeper suffering than just you spent the money, it didn't work out. But one of the things that is super important for you guys to know is when you're getting your hair braided or a weave done or anything that is pulling, think about that traction alopecia that we talked about earlier. Think about how your hair literally can be pulled out of your scalp, and to the point, especially if you do it over and over again, that it closes up and creates scarring. So once the scarring starts, the hair is not going to grow through the follicle anymore. It's going to be a wrap. And what some people do when they have severe balding or severe scarring, especially around the edges or anywhere visible, they will go, after they've tried everything and all the Rogaines that didn't work, they'll go to the doctor and they will graft hair where you have the most hair, usually around the back. They'll take some of that hair out and graft it into the edges. And that's for people who are just like, I see it. I can see the balding. I don't want that. I want to keep my edges. I want to have edges. So they'll go and spend, I don't know, I think it might cost about $5,000 or plus to have this done. And they basically will take some hair from the back and graft it into the edges. So that's like the ultimate solution. You know, that's like when you really are like, I'm not dealing with this. I want edges and I want my hair back. So that's more of an extreme way of doing it. Okay. The other thing is Groganics. I also love this, and I like this because when I braid hair, I put this on the scalp. What I noticed with this one is a lot of times if you get braids or any tight hairstyle, protective style, the scalp starts to swell. It'll swell up, you'll get those little bumps, and it'll become inflamed. And the Groganics for me calms it down. It calms the inflammation down, and it tries its best to help build the cuticle so that it doesn't snap. But if you keep manipulating the hair over and over and over and over, it's going to snap regardless. You're just putting pressure on it. And a few weeks ago, I had Miss Hair and Humor on and she does knotless braids. So we talked about how knotless braids are better for you. Doesn't pull hair out. You can move the braids around without the soreness. So knotless braids are like the new thing for anybody out there thinking about braids. And if you find that you've had issues with braids in the past or inflammation of the scalp, chances are the hair got you. So it's really important to soak the hair. What you do is you get a bottle of white vinegar and you run a tub or a sink of water and you pour that white vinegar in there. And then you just, the way the hair comes, it comes on a string. And so you take it off the pack, soak it in the water, and let it sit. I usually soak it for about 2 hours, depending on what I have to do. I might go to the store, come back. But when you look at the water, you'll see all the chemicals sitting right on top. It's kind of nasty. And it makes you think all these years we've just been putting the braids in our hair, the hair in our hair, without even realizing that those chemicals were going on the hair, jacking up some of us on our scalps, giving us inflammation and messing up our porosity. So it's really important that if you are definitely want to have sensitive scalp, that you soak that hair before you put it on your head. Okay, so I have someone else that wants to come on. Saba, hey Saba, I'm gonna bring you in. Saba, you wanna come in for me to see you?
Sure.
Okay. I have you joining. And, hold on, did it wrong. Okay. Courtney, I think I need you to go back in and put your hand back up.
Okay.
To Courtney, she was the next person I was gonna bring in. I accidentally put her hand down. So I'm gonna bring you in as a host, and then you can actually come on camera.
Okay.
So you should.
I hope you can see me. I have this light from where I'm sitting.
There you are. Well, the light's a little bright, but it's.
Can you see?
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Good.
I'll turn this light on and see if that helps a little bit.
It's a little better. Did you do a twist out? Your hair looks
I did. Yeah. That's my fallback. It's a twist out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've been using. I have the.
Oh, the Growth Renew, the serum. Mm-hmm.
I was using it religiously, and then I noticed that my scalp was tender, and I didn't know if it was from me using this product, or if it's because I'm working and I have to wear a headset like I'm wearing now.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe because I try to put it in a different spot.
Yeah, in a different spot, just the way.
So I couldn't tell between the two because I have to wear the headset for work. So I haven't used the product in about a week just to see. Yeah. And the tenderness has kind of gone down a little bit, but would a product make even though I'm not doing it on my crown, I'm doing it for my edges.
Yes.
You see on my edges, I can tell they've grown in some.
Okay, wait, back up a little bit.
Okay.
There you are.
Okay. Is that helping?
And you can feel it. A lot of times the growth
on both sides.
I feel it more than I see it. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like there's hair coming back in that area?
My hair is very fine. So it feels like there's a little, because it used to just feel just like my skin.
Yeah.
In that spot. And so I can tell kind of that there's, some baby growth. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but I stopped using the product because I wasn't sure if it was this or if it's the headset.
So then are you still using it on your edges only? Because you didn't stop putting it here. At least try it here. Keep you here and then stay away from this area.
Now, I never put this in the middle. The only thing I did in the middle was I put some jojoba oil in the middle. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know if me using this on my edge would cause something to my crown. Okay.
No, I've never heard of that happening.
Okay.
That doesn't mean it can't, because they clearly see life is different. Anything's possible. But no, not if you're here, it should not be affecting you here. Yeah, so we need to probably pay attention to what's happening here. It might have been the headset. Mm-hmm. But
I've been wearing it a lot lately, and I didn't notice what it was. It was very, very tender one day, and then a couple of days later, I put the headset on, and it felt the same. I was like, "Oh, maybe that's what was causing. So I just tried to move it to a different, I just moved it up, not quite right in the middle.
Sometimes the scalp will get tender if the hair is dry. If the scalp is super dry, it'll get tight. Or if you're in like high air conditioning buildings and it dries out, it'll get tight. So you might just need to put a little oil there, just, just to release that tightness. Yeah.
I want to try that shampoo that you talked about because I feel like I have some shedding going on in the top part of my hair and I want to make it stronger. And, so I'm thinking about wanting, start trying that product. When I looked, when I pulled it up, it had several ones by that Wow. There one had argan oil in it. And
this one is the one, the argan oil one is good too. This one's the coconut milk and the activated charcoal and keratin. Okay. So I'll put it up again so you guys can see. It's
activated charcoal and keratin. Okay.
Let it fro 2020. You're gluten free and vegan free. I see that. And so Sienna Naturals is my suggestion for products that are vegan and gluten friendly.
Shampoo and conditioner. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
All right. So I think I will get those and see if that makes a difference because I do notice, I don't even want to touch the hair at the top. Even when I'm twisting, I try to do it as loose as possible. When I'm taking it out, I'm very, very careful as I'm taking it out because just right in this area right here. I don't see my scalp or anything, but it's just, I can feel it. It feels like it's shedding.
No, sometimes I get that too. Sometimes out of nowhere. And what one of my doctors told me it was hormonal.
I am going through menopause.
Yeah, and I'm getting ready to start it. So they said it's hormonal and you dry out. Everything's dry, the scalp, the skin, the everything. And so I noticed that too. I literally threw a whole thickness of Black Jamaican castor oil on my hair the other night, went to sleep on my satin pillowcase and woke up to oil everywhere. I felt like I had a jerry curl from back in the day. So, but yeah, I've been going through that too, that whole tightness of scalp and that tenderness. And it happens to me every few months. I'll get it. It's common, especially if you haven't put anything in that area, it's probably just really dry and pulling the skin.
Oh. Because it doesn't feel dry, but it could be. I've been in air conditioning work. It's been hot lately, so I've had the air conditioner on. So it could be that, but I'll try to put some more Jamaican, castor oil or something. It doesn't feel dry to me.
But wow, because I put some on, and I actually didn't get relief until like the third day. It took a minute to just let it in, I guess. My scalp was like leather, so it was like not letting the castor oil in, but sometimes that happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll pay attention to that. I just stopped using this was working and I was happy, but then I said, is this causing my tender scalp?
No, it shouldn't. But if you were using it here,
only there,
felt tenderness there, then I was okay. But if you're using it here and you're feeling some here, you shouldn't be. Okay. And you're not having headaches. Are you having headaches?
Well, that's a regular for me anyway.
Okay.
I have one right now. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You know what might be causing your headaches? You might have a sinus situation, and that is actually putting pressure and causing it. And I don't mean the kind of sinus where you have postnasal drip, but it goes up into here, into your scalp. Only reason why I said that is because a little birdie just told me to tell you that. I don't look into it. You don't know.
Okay.
Sometimes if I tell you guys something and you come back like weeks later and be like, you told me to do this thing. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Just thank God I was used. But yeah, check out something with your sinuses as it relates to your headaches. Yeah,
okay.
Check out what's going on with your sinuses. And yeah.
Okay, you're probably onto something with that because I do, suffer from that from time to time. And then with me using the air conditioning now because of how hot it's been, it could be a little bit of that
I have
going
to use
on too.
that neti pot. Have you heard of the neti pot? You used to do it?
No, but I've heard of it.
It took me a long time to get into it. I was like, I don't want to stick anything in my nose,
And some
especially.
water.
But I started doing it and it helped me so much. Also, what I realized, and my boyfriend helped me with this because he suffers with sinusitis or something. And
Mm-hmm.
so he was like, you have to dust, especially when you're sleeping at night. You have to dust next to your bed, the stand, because
Mm-hmm.
when we're asleep, we breathe in. And if you got dust like on the stand next to you, you're breathing it. And it's every 3 or 4 days. And then you'll have a headache, because I was waking up with headaches and stuff, or like I couldn't breathe good. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was the dust. And ever since I started dusting, like he told me, shaking my sheets out and stuff, no problems.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll try those things too. Thanks. I'm excited about the shampoo. I want to try the shampoo and see how that goes for me.
Yeah. Yep. And let me know. I always like to know what you guys think of everything, any advice I give you.
Thanks, Felicia.
Okay, Saba. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
So, okay, y'all. So we have a little bit more time left. Y'all are hanging with me over here on Instagram, and I know you have questions. I'm actually using Zoom for the questions. I'm so sorry. But in the future, every Saturday, it's Get Cute While Quarantine with Felicia Leatherwood. The best way to register is to go to askfelicia.com. That's AskFelicia.com, and then you can join us here on Zoom. So I just figured you guys might want to sit in on the conversation that I'm having with my folks on Zoom, and that's why I brought you on. Okay, so let's get into Randy. You use BK Core products. They're great. I love BK Core products. Trista, the trichologist mentioned that emu oil would help grow hair. Do you agree with that suggestion? Okay, so I have not studied emu oil for hair growth, but I have studied it, believe it or not, for spider veins and skin disorders. And it was supposed to be like really amazing. So I guess you know what, I'm going to try it on my scalp actually, because I have plenty of emu oil around here. And I know they sell it at the beauty supply, and it is supposed to help improve the keratin in the cortex of your hair. The keratin is one of the fibers or one of the elements that helps to make the hair strong and bring up the shine. So possibly, Trista, that emu oil might make your hair grow. I wish I could know how long it would take before you actually could see results. Usually though, you guys, usually it takes about 3 weeks to 3 months, depending on your growth cycle, for you to actually see results with a lot of the products that that you use for hair growth. What is the spelling of the oil? It's EMU. EMU oil. And you know, if you order it, try to get the pure emu oil, because they cut it a lot with olive oil. So look into the ingredients of anything. Like when you guys get into oils, really try to look into making sure that the oil is pure, because it gets cut a lot, and so the effects of it might not be as great as if it was just pure. Okay. Let's see, I had another question here. Oh, Dorothy, thank you for saying that yes, teeth grinding at night causes headaches. It's so true. So true. A lot of people suffer with that one. A lot. And then Nicole Nichols. Hey, Nicole, you have thinning towards the back of your head. What do you recommend for taking care of that? Also, your right side is your problem side. It is the first to break. Okay, so the right side's problem side is the first to break off and is thinning then more than your left side. Is that common? Ooh, Nicole, do you want to come on so we can talk about this? Because I have some questions I want to ask you about that. So let me know if you would like to come on. Just, I think around the bottom, you can raise your hand and I can see that, because I want to know. Okay, Nicole, so stand by. I see that Courtney is back. I'm going to bring her back in real quick. Courtney, you there?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to bring you on, and then I'm going to have Nicole come on after. Okay. All right. So it's going to ask you if you want to start your video.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
How are you?
I'm good.
Great. Oh, great. Thank you for taking my question. So I have similar questions than the one you just got. Is that genetically, because I have a sister that has the same issues, is that I just have kind of an indentation that goes here and here.
Around
And I
the
try to
edges.
style, yeah, and I try to style my hair so that you can't necessarily see it. And I think I've noticed as I've gotten older that the hair isn't growing back as quickly in those little areas. And I'm not quite sure what else to do besides being very gentle. And I have a brush, and I'm using it in the way starting at the ends and working my way to the roots. But I think it's also just aging and seeing my hair change. It's now colored, and so I have color on it.
Yeah.
That's consistent. I don't do the color myself. I go to a professional.
Okay.
So I try to do my best with my hair, but I think because we have been sheltering with ourselves and looking at ourselves, I'm like noticing, and I'm also like, what can I do?
Yeah.
You know, so I've all of these tabs that I've researched and I looked up. So I just wanted to know if you've had clients or what are your thoughts about that?
So that hair loss, kind of like a horseshoe, right?
In a way,
So,
yeah.
So they classify that as the male pattern baldness, you know, the alopecia that starts. Now, the good thing for you is, and I'm not saying that, I'm not diagnosing that you have alopecia. You know, I would need to actually see you a little closer. But the good thing is that you're seeing what's happening early. So you can start to use products to strengthen your hair and combat it and slow the process down. Do you know, did your mom or your grandmother have alopecia or thinning edges?
I thinking back to my grandmother, that as she got older, maybe a little in that area, like her hair was overall thin when she got to being very like salt with a sprinkle of pepper, that's where she is. I feel like my mom's hair is pretty, my mom's got one of, you know, she's one of those people that cuts all of her hair off and keeps it short, but she can grow hair very long.
Okay.
So
I'm going to show you something that you might want to give a try to. Now, this stuff is called Edge Entity. It's a follicle stimulant. And I found them, believe it or not, on Instagram.
Okay.
I shop a lot on Instagram. And I got this a while ago, maybe a couple of years ago, Edge Entity. And I started to use it on a few people, and I started noticing that their edges seemed like they were getting a little peach fuzz.
Okay.
And then over time, I also noticed it slowed down the shedding. The hair being pulled out, because these people that I was putting it on wore braids a lot. So the braids had like pulled their hair out. So I saw it looked like the hair came back.
Okay.
And I'm not saying like everybody's gonna have the same result, but it's definitely worth a try.
Okay.
Definitely worth a try. So anybody who can see, this is Edge Entity. If you could post that name for me, and it's the follicle stimulant, Edge Entity, and it's edgeentity.com is the name. So I would definitely get a hold of this, especially if you're pulling your hair back or up or putting on like hair wraps. Like this one's loose, this hair wrap is stretchy, but if you're braids, weaves, protective styles, I would be on this. And I have a few things here, but something's telling me that you should try this one.
Okay.
Because you have color too, I don't want to give you like an oil. I don't think that oil penetrates color so well unless the hair is wet. And so I don't want to say use this serum or this oil, because I think it's not gonna get through. And I really I think this will do it. It's a cream.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I will give it a shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
And are you using a color treated shampoo and conditioner?
I am. I use Color Awakening from Inner Sense.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And I try to be really, I try to emulsify it, put it on, you know, more of my scalp, and then go in sections and add water. So not add as, you know, not shampoo multiple times, particularly because I'm working from home. Like if I have been working out and I feel like there's a lot of the salts from my sweat on my scalp. Yeah. I might twice, but I think in general, I shampoo, you know, once, and then making sure that I'm not using too much shampoo, and yeah, trying to get my scalp clean and get my hair is fairly clean because I don't use a lot of oils. I try to use products that maybe have in them, but not raw oil, because I just learned over time my hair doesn't like it.
Yeah, that's why I was saying with this cream, something's telling me that it would be better than, because most of the time when it comes to growing our hair, we use oils or serums.
Right.
You know, yeah. And so I was looking at you, I was like, I think your hair would accept the cream much better than the oil. So I'm glad we're aligned there. But yeah, try it and let me know. And I would say 3 months. But if you notice the hair is coming back in the first 2 weeks, which is, it'd have to be a genie in the lamp for that to happen.
Right.
If a genie pop out the lamp while you rubbing on your edges with this, you call me right away, girl. But usually it'll take, yeah, you'll usually like start to notice something 3 weeks to 3 months.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So be posted. You are so welcome, Courtney. Thank you for coming on.
I appreciate your time.
So we're going to, there you go. Okay, so I have another question. Nicole, are you ready? I want to know more about your hair. So your hair, okay, sip session remains dry even after oils. I'm doing something wrong. Ooh, sip session, we're going to talk about it. Okay, Nicole, you want to come on? Let me bring you in. Can you hear me? Nicole?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure. All right.
Am I in?
You are probably asking you now. On first, then
it says cannot use your video because host disabled it.
Should be. No, I got you on because you are the host. So I made you the host, so you should be able to. There you go. Hey.
Hey, you remember from last week? I did the little.
Wait, turn the other way. There you are.
Okay, I'm working at my dad's office.
Oh.
So I did the little.
Yes.
Last week. Yeah. So I
you
did
gotta
it.
wash and go.
Yes. From last week. You showed me last week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it easy for you?
Yeah, it was. I had I did a little twist out and I didn't like the twist out, and then this morning I was like, let me do this. So
but you said bud something.
Pardon me?
I thought you were getting ready to say you said bud.
No, I did a twist out and I didn't like how it looked, and then I ended up doing this morning.
Okay. So yeah, all you would need to do, like here in the middle where it's flatter, is take a pick and just kind of lift it up a little bit. Yeah, so you can take it and make it more of like a fro hawk. You don't pull it all the way through because that'll make it frizz out, but just pull it base at the roots. But you did good. Yeah, it's all
thank you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like I was saying in my question, it's usually like this side. I always, whenever I do a style, my left side looks great, and then my right side it'll struggle and it's thinner. So again, in the back part is usually thinner. I have little thinning spots, but on the right side it's always thinner than my left side.
Okay, so it sounds to me that your right side is probably where you're holding most of your stress. And the way stress happens is, or not the way it happens, what happens in the body, I should say, is when we're stressed out, we don't breathe correctly.
Okay.
And that breathing, that oxygen flow is what takes the blood and gets it to all the parts of the body we need in order for the cells to rejuvenate and things to grow. So you, a lot of times people have more hair on the right than the left. The left side is usually for a lot of people to struggle. And the hair is always different textures between the left and the right. Especially with naturals, you'll see one side will be a little bit tighter and the other side will be a little looser.
Right.
So it's common. There's not a lot you can do about that. It's just how your hair is. But if it's thinning, then I would suggest to get into one of these products I was talking about earlier, because if it's thinning and you find certain areas that you were like, I don't know about this, that's when I would get into the Growganics drops, you know, or either this one's more like a, it's more like
I've used that before.
Yeah. And how long did you use it for?
Maybe 1 to 2 months, because I was changing my hairstyle. So it just depends. For during that time, I was wearing a puff, and then I stopped wearing the puff, and I think I was doing crochet, and I stopped.
Okay. Yeah, I like this one because it's more like it's like a gel, I guess. It's the consistency of a gel or serum. And I like that better than the grease. I just don't like scratching my scalp and grease being under my nails.
Right.
I don't know, something about that. But I would say get back into the Growganics, especially in that spot in the back, and do it sooner than later. The longer you wait, the more the hair is starting to fall into this space of thinking that you're fine with it. Fine with it, in and out, fine with it, doing whatever it's going to do. So get in there, give it that Spanish, as I say, like with Popeye, and pump it back up, get it strong again.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I appreciate it. So enjoying it. I'm going to try to come on every Saturday. So
I appreciate you being here. Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks for your question. You did a great job, by the way, with your washing.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Yeah, something quick. I'll play with it when I get home, but I had to run to my dad's office and do some work. So
yeah, like I don't know who saw you before when you came on, you know, but this you did good.
Right. Thank you.
All right, Miss Lady.
All right.
So we have a couple more questions, and then I'm gonna get out of here. Oh, I see somebody has their hand up. Melanie. Hey, Melanie. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm gonna bring you in.
Yeah, hi.
I'm gonna bring you on, and then you should be able to start your camera. Uh-oh, where'd you go? I didn't mean for that to happen. Melanie, let me bring you back. There you are. Okay, so.
All right, can you see me?
In 1 second, I'm going to see you. Should pop up any minute. Okay. Is it asking you to go on video?
Let me see. Just clicked on it and I just put you to the bottom and then I'm top. So it says, let me see, share video. Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Well, I'm not in my work clothes, that's for sure. I'm in my pajamas. It's my day off.
That's okay. You twisted your hair?
Yeah, I did some flat twists. I need to retwist.
Is that where your hair is? Oh, that's where it is. I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did that start?
I don't even know. All I know is one day a few years ago, I was substitute teaching and a little boy said, she bald at the top, and she got bald head.
Oh, no.
Look, I didn't know how bad it was.
Oh, did you have, wait, how long ago was that when you were doing substitute teaching?
A couple of years. I haven't done it in, let's say a couple of school years, I think. Yeah, 2 years. But I noticed it, and I didn't know how bad it was until recently. I was in the mirror, and I was like, what? I didn't know it was that bad.
How far back does it go? Is it just there? That is.
Yeah, because I don't think it goes all the way.
Oh, yeah, I see it right in the middle. That's where it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And it does itch a lot there. I always had itching right in that spot, always, but I didn't know it was because the hair was coming out, and it would itch at night. It itch right after shampooing. Even if my hair could be clean and it still itches. But I noticed when I used to relax, that would itch a lot during the relaxing phase. First it would burn, of course, and then it would itch and itch and itch and itch, and it would itch for 2 shampoos after relaxing.
And how long did you wear the relaxer?
Lord, I started relaxing when I was in 10th grade, and I didn't stop relaxing until 2015.
Okay, so that whole time, so that glycolic, that acid from that relaxer
now, so
messing you up. Yeah. And it probably created an irritation there.
Yeah.
Man.
But I'm trying to see if there's any hope for me to get in that hair back. Now this hair, the one that's this thin stuff right here, it grows real long, and it grows all the way past this part.
But then it stays thin there, even though it's growing long. That because the way hair grows, if the hair doesn't feel okay, you know how the roots of a plant goes to find the water, and then it'll go underground, find the water, and sprout up. Hair is very similar. What happens is when the hair doesn't find the oxygen and the blood flow to sprout up through the follicle, it'll go to the next one and grow out of that. So then it'll make a clear space. So whatever that, what the relaxer did was it irritated that area, and it made it uninhabitable for the hair to grow out in that particular space, which that balding. And so now I feel like you're going to have, because you have to be careful because you don't want to inflame the scalp, and that itching is a big indication that you have that. So I feel like, what oil is on your scalp now?
Well, let's see. I try to mix. I use some grapeseed oil with some mixed with some essential oil. I think I used tea tree this time.
Okay.
But I try not to use too much oil on my scalp. But I did oil it last night, and boy, today it's itching. I think I'm gonna have to shampoo my hair when I leave this Zoom, because I don't think I can take it anymore.
And what shampoo? Are you using sulfate and paraben-free shampoo?
Yeah, I'm using the one by Miche. And then I also use the Shea Marsh one. I always do two. I use one that's clarifying kind of, and then I use the Miche to top it off. Okay.
And then what are you conditioning with?
So this time, I think I used the Miche, the one that's not their protein one, the other one.
Okay. So yeah, so if I were you, I would get the little vitamin E capsules, vitamin E capsules, and I would pop it, and I would just put in that area that itched and see if it doesn't calm it down a bit. Just let me know. Some people, most people, it calms it down. A few people have told me that it would itch a little bit in that area. So let me know, but hopefully it'll calm it down. But I really think that it was, and this is so common for us, is that the hairstylist doesn't tell us, like if we go, oh, my scalp itches there, or something doesn't feel right.
They just say, oh.
That's when we should take notice and say, let me look what I'm using on you to make sure it's not going to damage your hair or scalp later, or your health even. Because some of that stuff goes straight into the bloodstream. And so I'm really sorry that you ended up having someone who wasn't in a space to tell you what was happening with your scalp, because it went too far.
Yeah,
so
it did.
I don't know if it can come back, the hair in that area. But what I will work towards for you is finding ways for you to get relief.
And so now when I want to wear my natural hair, I have to do a deep side part to cover up that spot. And in order to wear my natural hair out. So lately I've been wearing wigs. I style my hair, I do this, and then when it's time for me to shampoo it, I might untwist it and wear it to church or something like that. And I'll come home and shampoo it and then put it back in some twist or plaits or something.
Then you never had a weave?
I had a weave, and that's what I was wondering if could have been the thing. Because when I had that sew-in, if she noticed or if she saw that I had a bald spot, why on earth wouldn't she say, let's put a mat on here so we can put that sensitive spot? And they didn't. Nobody. I went to 3 different places. One of them was what she was a aspiring hairdresser. That's the first one. But I went to 2 salons after that for the other ones. And they never said a thing. They never put a net or whatever to try to make it easier. They didn't ask me, even though we were in the mall for one of the salons. I could have walked to the hair store that was right in the mall. She never said anything. She never tried to get her people in her shop to go get anything. She did the sew in. But I did have the issue with it was back so far. Yeah, so it slid back. The weave slid all the way back. And so I got to work one day and this guy said, "What you got on your head? A hat?"
Well, people just say, they could just be saying stuff.
Yeah, he saw it. He gay, you know how that is. They very, very honest. They don't play. You know, they're very fashionable and they want everything to look good all the time. So he just said, "What you got on your head, girl? A hat?"
That is a whole wow. People
so I'm just wondering if that was the reason why, because it was pulling it back. It would never, my weave would never be right here where the part's supposed to be, you know, the frontal or whatever. It was a closure. But that should have been right there. It shouldn't have been where I looked like I had needed a bang or something in front of the part. They didn't say a word, not a word.
Yeah, because unfortunately, there are a lot of hairstylists. They'll just take your money. They'll really just
make sure your hairstyle look good. It didn't look good.
But you have to literally turn off your conscience to take somebody's money and not see that they're gonna suffer later. To see like that you're causing damage, you have to literally turn off your consciousness or your compassion. That's beyond me. I think there was a question here on Instagram real quick, and because we were talking about oils, and somebody had asked, how often should you oil your scalp? How often have you been oiling your scalp?
Well, the last couple of days, this week, I've been oiling like every other. Just the spots that's been itching or whatever, and then my edges, of course, I want to try to make sure they grow. And then I have this other issue with my single strand knots just in my nape. What is the crap is going on?
Because that's where you sweat. When you get those strand knots, that's where you sweat. And what happens is, if you have if it's anything there that would cause it to curl up, it's going to create that. The sweat has salt in them. It has sodium in it, and the sodium dries the hair out. So if your hair is curled up and it's got salt on it from your sweat, it's going to lock. It's going to create those knots. So that's, so you got to put a little leave-in conditioner back there just to get it a little lubricated. But so if you're oiling your scalp every other day for a conditioner,
I try not to oil my scalp except when I shampoo my hair for the most part. When I'm doing after I put I don't like to oil my scalp at all, to tell you the truth. But I like to I use the oils only to seal the hair.
Yeah, so everyone doesn't need to oil their scalp. Usually I advocate oiling the scalp when you have a scalp condition or you feel like the scalp is dry. And every other day, if you have a condition you're trying to cure or heal, is perfect. Every other day is perfect for oiling the scalp if you're healing something. If you're doing a hot oil treatment, I actually like to do it when the conditioner's on the hair. So once the conditioner's on the hair, then I put the hot oil on the scalp. When I go to rinse out the conditioner, the oil literally rinses on top of the cuticle layers and it seals in the conditioner. So oil is a sealant when it comes to hair. I notice a lot of people put oil on and then water, but I never really understood the process of that.
Yeah, because they don't mix.
Blocking everything out that needs to get in. So, but with you and the sliding, I think the reason why your weave slid back is because your hair texture is not kinky.
No, it's too fine.
It's fine, and it's kind of straight. I think you are, I'm gonna pull out my little board. I think your hair texture is more around, almost like this 3B. It's almost this 3B right in here with a little 3C. And so when you were getting weaves done, the weave was sliding because it wasn't holding the braid in. It wasn't holding it in. The other thing is that I'm pretty sure because your hair is that texture, that when they were sewing that weave on, they were pulling it really tight.
It was so much pain. That first weave I got sewing was so much pain. I had to take, my sister said, oh, take some ibuprofen. And it went on for days, and it was hurting so bad I couldn't even sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that
I never went back to her again.
Yeah. And you didn't know this, but you never needed a weave. You have beautiful that, but I hair.
Long hair. I wanted long hair. And at that time, I didn't even know, I went back, somebody found a picture of me when I was a little girl. And I was like, what? You mean to tell me I had hair like that? And mama still was taking me every 2 weeks to get my goddamn hair pressed?
A lot of us.
She didn't like my natural hair to the day she died. I asked her if she liked it. No. And then one day I was sitting in her room and she was in the nursing home and I pulled one of my curls down and then she jumped. And I said, long, huh?
Yeah.
I guess she didn't think it could grow that long, but I mean, God darn, you've been having me get my hair pressed since I was thinking. And then I begged her when I was in 10th grade to get a relaxer because, standing at the bus stop, by the time I got to school, I had a fro.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't cute at that time. Nobody liked fros back then. Not when I was in elementary, high school. They would have talked about me all day.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what they did. That's what they did. And now natural hair is celebrated. And you have
now I don't care who talks about me. That's my hair.
Yeah.
You can talk if you want, but that's my hair. And I like my hair. My sister said, I don't like that. I'm gonna cut mine off. She keeps her hair pretty low. She's trying to grow it, but she doesn't know how to do it. She picks through it all the way through. And I said, how you can expect it to look good? It's not an afro. I mean, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
And how you gonna see your curls if you keep picking through them? So I wish I could get to Chattanooga where she is. I'm in Louisiana and go and help this woman. So go help that woman so she can know that her hair can be beautiful.
Yeah. No, seriously, this is the thing about natural hair that I love. Everybody's hair is uniquely theirs. So you can line up 5 people with an afro and every single afro looks different. Not the same,
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's what happened. You have traction alopecia. You have some things as it relates to your hair that doesn't support the traction alopecia. So it's stress, diet, how much rest we get. Those all play a part in us losing our hair or the hair thinning and not coming back. So I am so sorry that you had the wrong people.
Nobody my hair again though. Yeah. I don't even go to any salons, not with this hair. They're not gonna touch my natural hair. So
if one product you can try. I cannot guarantee it'll work. You can get it on Amazon. I'm going to type it here. It is called Growth Renew. The young lady came on earlier, talked about her using it on her edges, and she felt like it was starting to work. And usually I start seeing results with Growth Renew in like 3 weeks. I'll feel a little peach fuzz. And that little peach fuzz is what gives you hope. And so
I was hoping, I thought I was feeling some growth, and then but then this part right here with that super thin, if I have to flat twist, I got to skip right over that spot because it's too, it's too fine, it's too fragile. I'm scared to break it out. So I just skip right over it and then go to the next part. And then as long as it's in there, that's all I care about because it's straighter anyway. So it's not going to curl no matter what I do to it.
Yeah. So I put Growth Renew into the chat and the company, and they have a lot of products, but I've only used the serum. So I can't vouch for everything else, but I definitely know for years I have recommended serum. I've used it on myself when I wanted to grow out my low cut, and it worked pretty good. So I put it in the chat. And Melanie, I thank you so much for being transparent and
thank you. Here. I've been wanting to do this. This is the first Saturday I was able to because I work Saturdays normally, but training for new positions. So I was like, okay, so let me do this today because I really want to know.
I'm grateful. So now you know. You can try this Growth Renew. If this doesn't start to get you a little fuzz. Now listen, this is what I really want you to do. Once you get the Growth Renew and you start using it, after about 3 weeks, hit me up, send me an email and let me know if you notice anything or you don't notice anything. If you notice something or you notice nothing. I want to I will know. If you notice something, then there's hope that we could possibly grow your hair back. It probably won't be as thick as the rest of your hair, but if you can get a few more strands in there where you won't have that spot.
Well, I don't have to wear such a deep side part to do my hair, because that's ridiculous. That's not, to me, it's not cute. It looks good on me, but that's not the business at all.
Yeah. So let's try to do something, and you can order it. I think it's like $12 or $14 on Amazon. I think prices have gone up too on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of things. I know.
But thank you, Melanie, so much. I have about 10 minutes left on here. Stick around, Melanie, with us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I have about 10 more minutes, and I have 2 people with their hand up. I also had a couple of questions. I don't know if Floyd Justice, if you're still on, you were saying that you put oil on your scalp before and it made it itch and flake even more. Yes, some people cannot use oil on their scalp. I don't like to, only time I put oil on my scalp is when I know it's super dry, or like earlier I was telling people, like when your scalp gets dry, it gets tight and it starts to get tender, then I'll put oil on my scalp. When I've worn braids or protective styles, I like serums a little better, or like light serums. Like I like stuff like this because it will disappear and it won't mess up your sheets. So for me, this is like a moisturant serum, and it's more water-based. So it goes into the scalp and the cuticle hair strands a lot better than just the grease. But everything that I have sitting here, and you can't see all of it, it all is to help aid, strengthen, and grow the hair. If your follicle is active, it will try its best to make it happen. Chanel says, would you recommend WOW for bald hairstyles? You recently shaved your hair. Well, if you recently shaved your hair, don't use WOW because it's gonna make it grow fast. So don't use WOW. It's gonna make it grow super fast. I would use Alopecia, the black soap shampoo, which I talked about. This is what Alopecia's name looks like here. They make a lot of good products. And because my hair is super, super short, I like to use the Alopecia. This is their buttercream. Can you see that? And I put it on my bald head because even if you shaved your hair, you still have skin. And you're not going to leave the house with nothing on your skin because then you look ashy. So your scalp needs some love too. So I would do a little bit of that. And I don't necessarily put oil on my scalp with my low cut if I'm going outside, because I feel like the sun is going to bake me and make me super hot. So that's something to think about. Dorothy, can you discuss hair loss and aging? Is there anything that we can do and help? Okay, Dorothy. So hair loss and aging. Now, there's not a lot we can do as it relates to hair loss and aging, because as we age, some of the melanin leaves the hair, which turns it gray, which turns it wiry, which makes it dry, which gives a little porosity, which eventually thins and breaks. So it's the process. The best way I know to combat that is to take supplements, zinc, potassium, iodine, iron, selenium. These are supplements that really, really are good. And some people say colloidal silver helps too with your hair turning gray and thinning out. But research it. I Google everything. If you do take the supplements, I prefer to do supplements in liquid form. I don't like pills, so I'm always looking for the liquid supplements. They're out there. I take all of my supplements in liquid forms. I also take trace minerals. Trace minerals are really, really good for the whole body, head to toe. So look into a few trace minerals. One of the ones I take is Volvic minerals. Volvic minerals, I think you can get that at Whole Foods. Yes, thank you, Tamara, for posting that. But Tamara just posted all of the minerals and supplements I talked about. But like I said, I would do it in liquid. I put my drops in some OJ or some water or something. Do not drink soda pop and take minerals. Please don't do that. Don't do that. That's terrible. Drink your water. You can put it in juice that is not filled with corn syrup. Try to get your organic juice, because if you're going to take supplements, you want to make sure you're putting it in the most organic way possible. You're not trying to mix it with a bunch of stuff, but that'll strengthen your hair as you age, and it should slow down the graying process in your hair. I noticed since I've been taking supplements, my hair is much thicker, and I've always had thin hair. Biotin, Nicole, is great, but some people have strange allergic reactions to biotin. So if you're going to take biotin, and let's say that they say take 2, any hair pills that you guys decide to take, if they say take 2, take 1. Get your body used to it. So start off with 1 first, and then build up. Once your body seems like it's going to react fine to it, then start taking 2. And drink a lot of water. We're made up of water. We need water. We need it. You cannot drive a car without gas in it. Just think about that. All right, so let's get into bringing Brandy on, and then Nikki, and then we're out of here for the day. I think that Instagram is going to shut me down soon. And for all of you on Instagram that want to join us next Saturday, go to askfelicia.com and you can come on. Brandy, can you hear me?
I can. We don't actually need the video because the question isn't for me. It is actually for my boyfriend. He is experiencing some hair loss, and I think it is a combination of stress and alopecia. So I've been working with his diet and the exercise piece that we spoke about earlier. Mm-hmm. So to get him into more fruits and vegetables, less processed fast food, saturated fats, and things of that nature. And I try to bake a lot of things and not give him the option of getting more snack foods versus things that we can grow and things that will help him sustain throughout the day, so he's not munching as much as he used to. Mm-hmm. So it's starting to work in the keeping his weight down and not having a lot of excess weight because he's walking more and exercising more. But is there anything product-wise that you would recommend, since I know this has kind of been a female-focused conversation, but is it the same if men are experiencing hair loss and it's not in the male pattern baldness category? Because I'm a cosmetology student, so I'm working with him as I go through the process in school, but I'm looking to try and help him because, you know, since we are so close, he can tell me that he feels uncomfortable with that spot out in the front. So I know that he feels a certain way about that loss of hair being right up front. And it's like right at where, you know, like where a widow's peak would be. And it's starting to come back slowly because we've gone to see a dermatologist and he's been getting some injections once a month. Mm-hmm. But is there something that you would recommend that we use as far as the shampoo conditioning piece, any of the serums that we can use? Because we've taken care of like the excess dandruff that he used to have with deep conditioning and some products that are sulfate free and paraben free and helping keep down the scratching with, I started using products from Canvas Beauty, but I'm willing to try anything that you might recommend because I follow you. I've seen your journey with Issa Rae, and I'm just a huge fan of your work. So I trust anything you suggest to me.
So I think you're on a great track with him, and I'm glad he trusts you because a lot of men don't say anything. They don't. And they put a hat on top, or they'll get a man weave and he come
right.
home.
I'm trying to get him out of that do-rag soon.
Okay. So look for products that have, and I don't know if you can see, the DHT blockers in them, because we're not quite sure if he's, like you're saying, is stress, but is a part of it genetic? Are there parts of it that have male pattern baldness genetically encoded? And so this stress isn't helping it along. It's not.
No.
So you want to look for products that have DHT blocker in it.
Okay.
So that it can strengthen the hair and not allow it to that loss of hair to continue. The breaking down of the hair and the pattern of the baldness, you want to block that out. The other thing, did you hear me talk a little bit about that onion juice mix?
I did. I wrote that. I'm taking notes.
Yeah, I feel like I want you to start with something more natural at home, because
Okay.
you're working with them and keeping them in a good natural way. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like if you guys, I want you to Google that. And I feel like if you make a routine of doing that, that's going to also change, because the onion juice has amino acids in it. And amino acid is part of the building blocks that help sustain and build the cells that grow the hair. So I really want you to kind of start with something organic in that way. Now, if it just all is like, okay, this isn't working, I need something stronger, then go with that growth renew that I mentioned. And I put in the chat, it's the growth renew, the moisturant serum.
Yeah, I wrote that down.
Then I would go with that, but I would do these other things first.
And I would just like to say, I think you might be onto something with the onion juice wash, simply because when we first started dating, he was really ill and was having problems with his kidneys and his liver. And I remember my grandmother used to make an onion soup, and it had just onion and garlic, and it was very, very basic. And I would boil those down, and he would just take the broth out of that, and he started to feel better within a matter of months. So I'm thinking we are already on a standard 10-day wash regimen, so I will add this to the program.
Yeah. Yep. I would go with that. I always try to give you guys both the natural organic way and then stuff that's got other stuff in it, but works, you know.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome, Brandy. Thank you for coming on and sharing that. And keep me posted. I'm always interested to know, like, if it's working for y'all. So that's
yes, ma'am. I will definitely let you know, because this is a process that I will be proud to share, because he will be happy, and so will I, because he will lose those hats.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon. Okay, Nikki, are you still there, Nikki?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that, okay, Brandy muted. Nikki, you want to come on real quick?
Sure. Okay. You can see me.
I'm going to put you on right now. It might ask you if you want to join with your video, and then it'll take a little minute.
Okay.
Thank you all for being on Instagram. I think it's going to shut down shortly. Y'all hung in there. And I didn't get to answer a lot of your questions. Are you able to get in, Nikki?
Give me a message, so I'll just go ahead and verbally tell you what it is. Just 2 hot spots near the hairline, the temple area, and it's from pulling my hair back in a ponytail. Okay. I was doing a lot of working out, like CrossFit stuff, so it was the easiest thing to put it back in the bun. Work out, and I'm a wash and go, so I'm in between like a 4C and a 3B. Like I have some looser curls in some spots, and then coarse in the middle crown area. So, but yeah, just kind of thinning around the hairline.
You don't want me to see you?
Oh yeah, but it didn't give me a message.
It click your video where it says start video. Click that.
Got it.
Oh, I was picturing something totally different.
How were you?
I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, I think we all were. We're probably all like, what does it look like, really? Okay.
Oh yes. So, I mean, they're pretty soft curls, so it's not really as tight and coarse. I have my good days and bad days, but I'm also a lazy curly. So I do a lot of the wash and go, or I just wet it in the morning, put some product on, and let it air dry during the day.
Okay.
So yeah, I do like the was it the Jessie's, the flaxseed gel? That one's been working really good. So I don't have as much frizziness.
So what did you say you think your texture is? 3C and?
Like in the middle, I think it's more of a 4, like in this back area at the top.
You think?
Yeah, because it's really thick. I don't know if you can see anything at all.
No, you're not.
Yeah, they're not. The curls aren't as defined.
They're gonna kick you out the 4 club, by the way. They're gonna kick you out. They're gonna send you back to the 3s.
Okay, that's fine. Well, tell me where I'm supposed to be.
The middle part is still 3. It's just frizzier. And I think your porosity is lower there.
Okay.
Sometimes people, like, if they have a lower porosity, they'll think that it's a 4, which totally, it makes sense because your hair is coarser, you know, you're 4. But I think for you, this here, is it right in here that it's thinning?
Like right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you can see it because the light is bad. But yeah, it used to be there because I have old pictures. I was like, what happened? And it was the ponytails.
I'm so glad you found out because you have beautiful natural hair.
Oh, thank
so
you.
I'm really, really glad that you.
So is it more 3B or where am I at then?
Definitely a 3C all the way. You have some tighter 3 and a little bit looser 3, but you're a 3 all the way. And 3s usually can take a cream or a gel.
Yeah.
And because if you put a butter on it, it'll weigh your hair down and make it look really oily.
Got it.
Texture 4s usually do creams or butters. So you're a cream or a gel. What I would do if you feel like your hair is shedding in any way, I would do a rice water rinse. I just keep it simple. And I would just strictly do the rice water rinse.
Got it.
And spray it on. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're familiar. Yeah. So just spray it on before I go into my shampooing and do it right before each shampoo, at least for a month, and see if your hair feels stronger at the end of that month.
Okay. Yeah, because like I said, I just noticed it in the temple areas where it thinned out some.
Yeah.
So is it pretty much where it won't get restored? Or
how long has it been like this?
Process? It's been a couple years.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking it's done.
Then if that's the case, I take back the rice water and say, try the Growth Renew. Because I've had clients that had bald spots for 2, 3, 4 years. And they tried the Growth Renew and the hair grew back. And it was unbelievable. Now, does it work the same on everybody? No. But is it worth trying? Yes. So Growth Renew Moisturant Serum is the only one I've tried in that line. And I've had good results. When you use the Growth Renew, don't go hard. Don't be like, I'm gonna, don't do that.
Saturate.
You just put a little on and you massage the temple, the area, and leave it alone. And it's daily that you use it.
Once a day?
I feel like you're gonna start seeing something come back in here after a few weeks. It may not be as thick as you want it. It'll be thinner, but I feel like you're gonna see some.
Filling in a little bit. Now, if years ago I did flat twists and there was one that was too tight and I did not take it out soon enough, so I lost some skin. Yeah, it's in there. I got lucky. You can't see it.
I never heard of this. Oh my God.
Yeah, she did it super tight. And when I eventually did take it out, skin came off. And so I ended up going to Kaiser. There was a spot there and they stitched the skin back together. So it left a bit of a scar and follicles are gone. So any suggestions or is it a wrap?
It's a wrap.
I figured that.
Because that means that it scarred over that area and probably closed it off. It roadblocked.
There's no follicle. Yeah, it's really just smooth. It's only the size of like a pinky finger, like nail bed. You can't really see it. So, and I've had braids and stuff since then. But yeah, never again.
You be going through it.
The natural hair is a struggle.
I mean, we really go through it. I am so sorry. Now, what God did was make it up to you by providing you with all this gorgeous curly hair. You wouldn't know about none of that. So yeah.
So I try not to complain too much. I do get it. So I just work with what I got and make the best of it. And
it's good. What you got is really good.
Thank you. So yeah, so that was the only issues I had was the temple areas thinning. So.
Okay. Well, try the Growth Renew and let me know how that goes.
Will do.
Yep.
All righty. Thank you again. Enjoy your weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. So y'all, I went over my time by 8 minutes. I'm surprised that Instagram is still hanging. Y'all are on here today. Okay. Who do we have left here? Uh-oh. Let me change something here. Brandy, did we talk already? Yeah. That's so weird that it's still got you up. But we're gonna go back. So y'all, I'm getting ready to get out of here. And I know there were so many questions and I couldn't even answer all of them. I will be here for like 2 hours trying to answer all the questions. But I'm getting ready to get out of here. And so let's see. Brandy, I see your name up. I don't know if everybody else can see you up. So try to hang up and see if it takes you off. You see, Brandy? Did we, wait, can you hear me, Brandy? Brandy? No? There. Okay, perfect. All right. You know what? I'm going to take, there's 3 hands up. Let me see if I can get through 3 questions super quick. Instagram, if you got to shut off, I get it. Thank you guys so much for joining me and sticking around for a Get Cute While Quarantined with Felicia Leatherwood. Come back next Saturday. Register at askfelicia.com. I always post it up on Instagram and Facebook. But I'm going to answer 3 more questions because I have 3 hands up. And then we'll get this thing going again next Saturday. Thank all of you for still hanging in there. My God, y'all are amazing. Amazing. Hey, lady, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm going to promote you so I can see you. Let's see here. I'm going to, right here, you should be able to pop on.
It says unable. Oh, there we go.
Hi. How are you, friend?
I'm so good. How are you?
Good to see you, even if it's virtual.
I know. I look so raggedy, but I was like, let me come on here and ask you questions. I was just piddling around in my pajamas, and then I saw you post on Instagram, and I was like, well, I want to come. I have a question because I'm growing my hair out. Mm. I've usually worn it bald.
Yeah.
So, right. And so, should I take off the do-rag? Do you want to
see your hair? Yeah, why not? Let's see. Listen, we're quarantined. Nobody's supposed to be cute right now.
It's not cute, so that's good. Okay, so this is my hair.
Your hair grew a lot.
I've been growing it since November, so almost a year. And I don't know if you know, but I had brain surgery like 8 years ago.
No.
And I've been bald since. I've been wearing it bald before then, but I've been wearing it bald since then. So I haven't grown my hair out to even see the texture.
Yes.
What's happening. So this is what I've discovered since growing it out. The right side of my hair, which is where the most of the impact of my brain surgery was on my right side, is straighter. Like if there's not really a kink.
Interesting.
At all. And this side is my regular texture, and the ends are all tangled and tight. Right. But then this side is also thinner. Like it's straighter and thinner. And I don't know if it's like when I take pictures of it, it looks like there's thin spots. I don't know if.
No, what? Because when you first told me about the brain surgery and the fact that the hair is a little straighter, I pictured, you know how when people make spaghetti noodles and they press the dough to make the noodle and the hole is really thin and flat?
Yes.
Probably the side that you had the surgery on, those follicles are, the hair is going out flatter. It's not making the coil.
Right. Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and only a surgeon would know what's happening under the scalp as it pertains to that. But me knowing hair and how it grows out, especially textured hair, I imagine that the hole that the hair is growing out of is really fine and thin, and that's why the hair is coming out flatter and thinner. Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense, because it's like, it's not even, I don't know if you can see like how straight.
I can see it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's really the lower right quadrant. So I bought Miracle Drops, and I don't know.
Grow it?
Yes, because I'm super lazy, so I don't put it on as often as I should be. So I don't know if I should be doing more or less, or you see.
So the other thing is, if you're putting the Miracle Drops on the side that is straighter to make it thicker, it's also gonna make it grow longer, right?
Okay.
While this side is gonna be shrunken, and so then you're gonna be like, what's happening?
A lopsided afro, which is what's happening.
But I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It could grow thicker, and then you just have to cut it to meet the shrunken side.
Okay.
But it's gonna be a lot of you cutting it, like, you know.
Okay. So there's no remedy to regulate my hair texture?
No, sorry, not really.
Okay.
It's science.
It is science. Okay. Yeah. Is there anything, and it's thinner, like I think it's not growing as densely, and that's the same thing, like nothing I can really do about that?
When you go, I don't know how often you go or when you're scheduled to see the doctor again for them to just check up, I would ask them a few questions. I would write the same things you're asking me.
Okay.
And I would propose it to them. I'm really curious as to what they would say. And then I would love to have a conversation with you to see what their answers are.
They don't have any answers for anything.
I was going to say they may not know.
They have no idea.
As it pertains to black hair.
They have no idea.
But but I want to know, is it okay for you to use things on your scalp to grow your hair? And how far can you go with that?
It's totally fine because it's my neurosurgeon and my neurologist. So they just know about the brain. They don't know anything, literally because I've had I have nerve issues. I have other kinds of issues. Okay. And they're like, we just know the brain. We don't ask us about anything, anything else. So, but it's been 8 years.
This side that's tighter,
mm-hmm.
You could do a hair mask on it. What's the one, you guys? Somebody type it in. It's like a powder. You mix it. What is that powder? Because it does stretch the hair out. I've heard a lot of naturals say that it stretches the hair out. Somebody give it to me. What is the name of that mask? It's a powder mask, and you mix it up, and it does change the texture of hair. Razu, there it is, the Razu clay. Thank you, Candy. Yeah. You can try and the Chiba. Yeah, either one of those should stretch out the tighter side. And it's said to make it a little looser.
Okay, perfect. Because as I mentioned, I'm lazy. And so I haven't been, and I don't have a good brush. So I wanted to ask you if I should get your detangler because the ends.
She want to ask me if she should get my detangler brush.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to tell you yeah.
Okay. I'm getting your detangler brush. I've been out of the country, so that's why I hadn't ordered it yet, but now I'm back.
Just text me.
Okay.
Same.
Okay, I will text you. And the locks at the end, will the brush help with that? And
yes, but listen, now this is the thing. You got to put a good conditioner in. What is your deep conditioner that you use?
Ooh, I don't have one.
What? Okay.
I'm so new to the hair thing, I'm just like letting it do its thing, which is how it ends up like that.
Well, what shampoo are you using?
My niece recommended it to, oh no. Oh God, it's tea something. It's for the scalp. It's because I have really dry scalp. It's
we should do? I think we should, just because we got a little time, I think we should book a private consultation.
Okay, you got it.
Let's book a private consultation, and then you'll have all your products there, your water bottle. By then you'll have your brush.
Yes.
And let's go through all the different things that your hair can do. And then also I can help you trim it while you're at home. Like I can show you how to trim it. And we'll be privately on Zoom. So anybody out there that wants a private consult on Zoom, just go to my website, FeliciaLeatherwood.com, and book it.
Okay.
So, go FeliciaLeatherwood.com, book you a private consult, and let's get you straight.
Thank you, Felicia. Thank you.
Good to see you again.
And I'll text you about the brush.
That's what I want. Thank you. All right, ladies. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, one more question, I think. Let's see, we have one more, two more. Lisa, hi Lisa, you there?
Hi.
Hi, I'm gonna bring you in so I can see you and your pretty hair. And then we have one more question and we're out of here, y'all. We did 2 hours almost. Y'all hung in there. Wow, I am very impressed. Okay.
All right. Mine is going to be quick. It won't let me start my video.
It's gonna let you start right now. Should be able to start now. Try to turn your camera on. There you go. Hey, there you are. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. So a couple of years ago, I was getting weaves back to back with a closure. Mm-hmm. And I already have genetic alopecia on my edges and my back. So I was getting these sewing weaves because I wanted longer, thicker hair, and I'm a stylist, right? I should know better. But I was getting it back and back, you know, just to get that look. And my part of hair, and I was natural before, it had thinned out like tremendously. So this past March, I was just like, you know what, cut it all off, and I got a relaxer just so I can just get something simple just because of my edges. Yeah. I don't like the show when it's natural. Yeah. So I joined a little late, and so I just wanted a recap of some things that may work for me with this. I don't know if you're able to see. I feel like it's getting better now that I'm able to really get to my scalp and shampoo my hair. Yeah. But something I can do, because I've seen in my clients too, and I always tell them you have to clean that scalp on a regular basis. And I think that was my issue too, was just like cleaning it, but it's still kind of like thin.
Because that's the thing, like when you wear weaves, it's hard to get in there.
Yeah.
And then there's the sweat. And remember I was saying how the sweat has the sodium on it. So it's salty and that dries the hair out and the whole thing. So what do you think about trying the WOW products and the Growganics?
Okay. That I can definitely do that.
I would go with the charcoal, the activated charcoal. And I would go with the DHT blocker conditioner and start making this your regimen. But I definitely don't feel like you're going to really know what's happening until like about 8 weeks later. 8 weeks. If you're using it consistently, and you know how we get busy, we fall off, then it will be more. Now this one here, this Growganics is to help strengthen your roots, and it prevents breakage. And this one is the one that I said is more like a serum. So it won't be greasy. So this might be a little bit better than a grease for you because your hair is straight. And I think if you put like a grease, like a pomade, it's going to make your straight hair look stringy. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't. I just use very light serums on my hair. I shampoo, condition, put a leave-in, and just a very light serum. Because my hair, even when it was natural, is very fine to medium in texture. And it was already like on the thinner side. So I don't try to do anything that weighs it down.
Okay. Yeah. So I would go with this one's called On the Spot Scalp Drops. And like I said,
I'm trying to screenshot it.
You see? Yeah. Okay. So On the Spot Scalp Drops for y'all on Instagram. And so I would try this, but stick with it. I feel like I'm gonna talk to you in 2 months and be like, did you do it? And you're gonna say, kinda. Don't you say kinda.
I am bad. I'm like the other girl. I'm bad about doing something on a regimented basis, but I'm going to get in the habit of, you know, doing it because I wanted to like thicken up a bit because it was scary. And, you know, I did the relaxer. I know that's, you know, frowned upon, but it was just the easiest thing to, you know, kind of give me, you know, like easy hair to work with and not show my edges, you know.
The cut is cute though. Really, really cute on you. Frames your face very well. So yeah, I would like for you to get on the DHT blocker, the WOW, and the serum.
Thank you so much. Somebody just came in here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Lisa.
You're fantastic. I'm like the other girl, just like a huge fan of yours. You're just very inspirational. I thank you for doing these free classes. This is like so dope.
I'm glad that y'all are getting something from it. Keep me up to date. Let me know if you get weak and you need some strength. Hit me. Be like, girl, I haven't been putting my drops on. Help. So we support you.
All right. Thank you.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Have a good one. Bye. So y'all, we really at the end. Wait, I got one more. Essence, you ready, Essence? You're my last question. Ready?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring you on so that I can see you. And then, thank y'all for hanging on. Okay, and then it's gonna ask you. Okay, so now you can pull up your screen.
Okay. So actually, I'm gonna share my screen just to show you a picture of like my scalp.
Did it say asking you if you can? Because I made you the host, so you should be able to come on. Hey, Lauren.
Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes, I see it.
Okay, let me go here. Okay, so this was like my scalp here. Like it's bald in that area. And I feel like I'm not sure. Sorry?
It got pulled out? Your hair got pulled out?
So no, like my scalp has always been thin right there, like ever since I could remember. And my mom, she used to do my hair very tight growing up. So like, I'm not really sure like what's the problem. I think it's hereditary because like I said, it's always been like that. And my older sister hair is thin there too.
Yeah, that looks like traction alopecia to me.
Okay.
And it could come, I don't know if you have children, but anybody watching right now, if you have children and you pull their hair tight, especially into the rubber bands, which is what our moms used, was rubber bands. They didn't have the things they have now. And you allow your child to fall asleep with the tightly pulled ponytails and these rubber bands. Children move around when they sleep. All of that is causing traction alopecia young. So it's training the follicle to thin out and to pull out young. And so all it takes is a few good times to snatch that area out where the hair won't grow back. And it scars over the follicle. And so it won't grow in that area when it scars. It'll go around it and find the next follicle that it can grow out of. And that's what I see in the pictures. It's like you have hair around here, but then you have that clean space right there. So that was probably ponytails. That was probably sometimes braids. I also think that you possibly have high level of yeast in your diet from sugar and different foods. I feel like that also contribute to it. And then it will cause a bit of inflammation. Is that area, it's probably not even tender. Do you feel anything when you touch it?
No, it's just like skin.
Yeah, if it's skin. And yeah, it's definitely traction alopecia. And I don't know, it doesn't look like it'll grow back. You can probably grow all the hair around it just to kind of cover it up and mask it, but that area is pretty clean. So I think it closed up, unfortunately, and I'm sorry about that. You're definitely welcome, just because I would keep trying anyway, to try the growth renew. And the reason why I say growth renew on some of these things and some of them I say grow organics is because growth renew, I've seen people who've had clean spots start to develop hair in the area. But it's not guaranteed for everybody. So the reason why I say to you, try to grow is because it's a bit stronger than some of these other things I mentioned. And you would know right away, faster with that if the hair is going to grow back than with some of the other things I have on the table.
Okay, and what is the brand for the Growth Renew?
It's Profective. I will put it back here because it's all the way up the feed. Growth Renew. It's a moisturant serum, and I know they make you know, shampoos, conditioners, and all that stuff, but I've only used serum. And you can get it on Amazon. Okay. Do you see it in the chat? Growth Renew moisture serum.
Yes.
So yeah, that would be the best bet. Now, if you don't see anything happen, and like, if you don't feel, I should say, any kind of fuzz happening in like a month, then chances are it might not come back. But I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that you do feel something in the Growth Renew. Because if we can get you some fuzz happening, then there's possibilities, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
You are welcome so much. And thank you, Essence. And have a beautiful weekend. And I hope you come back and join me next Saturday. All right.
Will do.
Okay.
Bye. Okay. Bye-bye.
So y'all, I think we are about to roll out of here. It is 3 o'clock. I started at 1. I always get really caught up, and I love talking to you all every Saturday. So originally these GQ while quarantines were an hour, and then they went to an hour and a half, then 2 hours. So, but I could stay here all day, and there were like all these questions that I missed because we were doing live Q&A. So next Saturday, let's do it again. Let's do it again. If there's any topic that you guys feel like you would love to hear about that you've never heard about, a hairstylist never discussed it, or no one's covered it yet, hit me up. Let me know what you would love for me to talk about as it pertains to your hair. You can send me an email at askfeliciamore, that's AskFeliciamore @gmail.com. Ask Felicia Moore at gmail.com. If you want to schedule a private consult, you can go to FeliciaLeatherwood.com and schedule it there. You can buy the brush there. You can get your curl calendar on there as well. The curl calendar just really kind of helps keep you in your regimen. So you know what's going on. You know when to deep condition. You know when to wash your hair. You know when the last time you colored it and you trimmed it. It's all on the curl calendar. So anything you guys need, I'm around because we're in quarantine. And thank you. Thank you all. And stay blessed. Y'all are the best. Thanks for your patience. Bye, everybody.